Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How are you all doing? Welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 here today on the channel. We're back on the Road to 56 mod and Man the Guns DLC. We're going to be starting a brand new Let's Play campaign as the Soviet Union on the 1st of January 1936. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on, and let me know in the comments feedback and suggestions for the series. Feel free to leave a dislike if you don't like Hearts of Iron 4 or me. That's why the dislike button is there for. So we're going to be playing as the Soviet Union here today. We're going to be sticking with the communist ideology. We're also going to be turning off historical AI focuses. So, let's get stuck right into the Hoi 4 campaign. Single player, watch the fire rise. So we are using a lot of mods in this series: UI, Faction Manager, Chaos, AI, and Road to 56, of course. And also, guys, I want to make a deal with you first up. If this video can hit, say, 500 likes within 24 hours, I will do a double upload here today and release the second video instantly. If not, you just have to wait a little bit longer for that next upload. Okay guys, so the main objective for this series is to take as many major powers out as we can and grow the communist sphere of influence. So let me know in the comments where you'd like me to expand and conquer. We're going to try and go after Finland in today's episode. We could continue to spread communism within Scandinavia. I would like to push into Poland, but potentially it might be a better idea to wait till 1941 so we can split it with the Germans. Potentially pushing against Romania could be an interesting proposition due to the oil fields that we can get from there. Maybe in intervention into the Middle East. I'll try and bring Turkish communism up. I might even try and boost it in Brazil as well. Maybe even Mexico and Iran. We'll just have to see. And I'd like to in France. But we want to try and knock out the Germans. We want to try and eventually knock out all the fascists. Then we'll try and knock out the Democrats and the United States. We will probably want to try and take out Japan, obviously. China, maybe even try and do some influence down in the British Raj as well. So let me know in the comments where you'd like me to expand and conquer. I'm excited to be back on Hearts of Iron 4 and try and bring back regular uploads to the channel. After I finish this series, let me know in the comments what you'd like me to replace it with. I may be thinking of playing a German campaign because, funnily enough, I've never actually played as the Soviet Union on Hearts of Iron 4, nor I have with the German Reich. I usually like to play with smaller factions and try and change history. Okay, so let's have a look at the Soviet army. So we currently have 138 divisions and 1,231 battalions. So what I want to do here is sort by type. I want to go through and find all of my police cavalry units, and I want to disband them because I personally prefer in Hearts of Iron 4 getting the equipment back rather than using this police sort of reconnaissance, public order unit. I just don't like cavalry in Hearts of Iron 4. The light horse, it just really isn't worth it. So we're going to disband all of them straight up. What we also want to do in the western half of the country is rally everyone up here and divide them into 24 stacks evenly, and we'll try and push these already. It looks like probably 90 or more of our forces are on the west here. We want to put them on the Finnish border. I don't fear the Romanian and Polish border just yet because war is still very far away. Okay, so we have 4 lots of 24 divisions able to be put on the Finnish border here. We're going to adopt a German tactic and hopefully try and blitzkrieg them pretty early on. We can get some really nice buffs and chevrons, blood our units and get them battle hardened. So once we face the Germans eventually, they will be battle ready and not green boys. I would like to as well keep a 20 division strong army over in the Far East, guarding the area of Manchukuo before the Marco Polo Bridge incident happens as well. We do want to try and maintain dominance over in the Far East. So army-wise, that is now sorted. Navy-wise, I don't want to focus too much on my navy, but we've got a small one here in the north, in the Baltic, Ukraine as well, in the Far East, because the thing is, right, we are playing on the Man the Guns DLC, but Russia, you can focus on it somewhat, but we're just going to get absolutely smashed by German submarine wolf packs, so we might be better off just focusing on convoys for now. Air Force-wise as well, we can reallocate some of these divisions to the Finnish border as well, especially these ones within the west, And do we have any air bases over here? We do. We do have some here that can go over Japanese territory, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Okay, let's start working through some of these slots. So, Joseph Stalin is currently the leader. We are currently 88% communists. We have a small democratic populace in 10%. Volunteers only export focus civilian factory. You want to try and change eventually as well. Here are some of our decisions as well. We are using a faction manager. So let's dive into research. We are using the Road to 56 mod, so our small arms are being clumped up. We've also got resource production. We can focus on clothing and some of the specialized stuff as well. But to start things off, we're playing in 1936. So we want to get construction and machine tools as quickly as possible, along with electronic engineering. The fourth spot, you can probably go down mass assault, or we could potentially go with support 30, which I think I would prefer to do. Trade-wise, as the Soviet Union, we're actually quite fortunate. We got 88 oil, 99 oil, sorry, 58 aluminium. We've got minus 40 rubber, which we'll need to get. I don't think we're going to be at war with British Malaya for probably a decade. I'd be honest, maybe 8 years. So we'll get, let's go with 48 rubber. And we'll bring that in. Tungsten, we're fine. Steel, we're fine. Chromium, we're fine. Resource efficiency-wise, we're actually quite strong, which is good. Construction, let's have a look at what we're working with here as well. Now, using the terrain and the topography of the Soviet Union, I don't believe we're ever going to get pushed so heavily back within our territory that we're probably going to lose this Soviet front line here. But it's not bad under the circumstances to use terrain and topography to your advantage. So realistically, there's no real reason why we can't build civilian factories back towards Moscow. I want to sort of make this my industrial hub here. Look, you can even be more conservative and push back to the Ural mountain ranges here and even build some more civilian factories there if you just want to be safe if a German rush. But if they get to the Ural mountain ranges and you haven't capitulated, you're pretty much fucked, to be honest. Production-wise, we can look at as well. So we want to try and get 10 small arms as quickly as possible, along with support equipment, field artillery, light tanks, motorized. We'll keep fighters and heavy bombers there for now. And I'm actually going to get rid of our navy due to, especially early on, while we don't have that many dockyards, we want to go with convoys and stack them up. Try and get about 1,000 or so. Then if we start seizing a lot of Scandinavian and potentially Baltic ports, we can switch and maybe try and rival the Germans' Wolfpack submarines, but it's going to be a hard ask. For now, I'm not going to edit my templates just yet, and we also can get some army experience as well if we have some shorter walls. And we are using Chaos AI, so we want to get stuck into fights as quickly as possible. We're not using historical AI focus, and we're playing on Chaos AI, so it's going to be interesting to see the randomness of this save. So we're not going to recruit anyone just yet until my logistics get on track, because at the moment my balance is off along with my stored stuff. So at the moment we've only got one political power, my stability is 43, my war support is 58, we have 1.3 million in our manpower. That is going to be our main strength for this series. Factory 77, fuel's alright for now, convoys. So infantry-wise, we'll try to buff this up where we can. We want to try and get tanks as well, artillery. We're going to go down mass assault doctrine. That's what I personally prefer as well. National focus, we're going to have a quick look at that. I think doing the Great Purge as soon as possible is definitely our best bet. We are using the Road to 56 mod, so the focus has been changed and shifted somewhat. So if you're used to playing vanilla, some of this stuff might be thrown all around the place from what you're used to. Okay, so I think I've set up my base game good for now. We'll go with the Great Purge. Once we're done with that, we'll go with this. Stalin Constitution, and once we have a bit of spare political power, look, there's a couple of factions and countries in Hearts of Iron 4 which can be swayed and can really help you out in the wars to come. Turkey is definitely a major player, along with Brazil and Mexico. Having Mexico communist, we were allowed to push into the United States. Brazil sends a lot of volunteers around the world, and Turkey as well is quite a decent place. We've got the Spanish Civil War war coming up as well, and we'll try and send volunteers to them as quickly as possible. I could very well, actually I probably should have, in hindsight, sorted by type and gone with mountain units, and because ideally you want to send all of those to Spain. I might quickly do that now. I might get rid of all my mountain units to make their own army. Damn, I should have done that before. Okay, I think I'm finally ready to end the turn and continue. Alrighty, so no divisions in basic training, that's fine. Decisions available, we'll wait for more political power. Insufficient resources, rubber, we'll get that from the British Malaya eventually. Yep, so that was my attack plan. 13 divisions to hit the Spanish once their civil war erupts. The 5th column, that's fine, and we'll move these divisions further north. So it's only 24 divisions, 7, and then 24 on the far front there. So we'll allow our men to slowly but surely make their way to Leningrad and further north there on the Finnish border. Once we've gone through the drills and recruitment, we're going to hit them hard and take out Finland. Looking at Finland itself, it is currently 40% democratic, so there is a slight risk that they could join the Allied forces, but they are currently they've got a decent amount of neutralism there. But most of these guys are democratic in the north, so that's definitely something we're going to have to watch out for. Now that we've got some political power, let's try and focus some foreign governments. So there's nothing really we can do in Germany. I'm going to boost my communism ideology in France. Nothing really we can do in the UK for now. Turkey, just due to how close we are, is probably our best bet. Iran's a really good play, but we'll leave that for now. And we'll try and bring in Brazil. We'll leave Mexico for now, I think. So those are those 3 foreign powers we're probably going to try and influence. So we'll try to take out Finland early on. We'll try to hit some of our neighbours. Germany's made on the list. Then if France joins the Allies, we'll probably go after them in the United Kingdom. Depending how things go in the East, we might have to go and deal with Japan. And then eventually we'll probably end the series on taking the United States for myself. So I want to try and bring as many countries into the Comintern as we can, but I also want to occupy land as well. The remilitarization of the Rhineland has now kicked off. Okay, so it's currently the 13th of February 1936, and I believe it is time for the Soviet Union to declare war upon Finland. We want to try and seize and take their territory as quickly as possible. We do outnumber them quite significantly. Looking at their border forces, we're going to hit them hard, be relentless and unforgiving, and we will be victorious. So we currently have 3 lots of 24 stacks, and then we've got a 7 unit there. So we're going to straight up war deck the Finnish, and let's see how they react. Our justification for war has now finished, and let's declare war upon them, and let's hit them and hit them hard. But at the end of the day, we are playing on Chaos AI, so you never really know what's going to happen. So Tenatuvu has come in, and same with Mongolia. They are the only 2 factions that are in the Comintern with us. Ace pilot promoted. So already, how are we going? We still have control in the north here, and we have control in the upper Baltic as well. Air superiority we'll try and get eventually. So let's have a look at the current wars going on around the world where we can. So we have the Soviet-Finnish War. We have 116 divisions to their potentially 10 to 21. Mongolia, Tenatuvu are going to come in as well. And Italy is at war with Ethiopia. So we'll continue to push headstrong where we can. The quicker we can take Helsinki and the more population-dense territories in the south would be more beneficial. Riots in the streets, our brothers are being mutilated. Trial of anti-Soviet Trotsky Center. So we've got a couple of options here. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. We can... Kellen's wife is expected. He cannot be trusted. So we can get a 15% stability. The Khrushchev dabbled with Trotskyism in the past. He must go. We should do that. We should get rid of Khrushchev, I think, which would give us a plus 5% ideology drift defense, communism revolutionary, and we get communism support as well, so let's go with that. We want to continue our drift defense. I don't think many other major powers are going to try and influence our foreign elections, but we'll just have to see. Oh, here we go. The Republic of Finland offers concessions. The Republic of Finland offers concessions. The war with the Republic of Finland has been a costly affair. But, as we've been able to push back the Finnish army, they've presented us with a compelling offer. We are given control of strategically important areas, but need to withdraw our troops. Our soldiers are needed elsewhere. White peace. Controller. We need all of the Republic of Finland. Look, you know what? I think we want all of it. We probably... I haven't decided just yet. But we could potentially puppet Finland directly, making them a communist puppet, a Soviet puppet. Or we could just take the entire region. The right assent in France. The French government is an enemy of its own people. Really? Wow, okay. It'll be interesting to see how that wraps up. Also in Hearts of Iron 4, we got French Indochina as its own thing, so that's quite cool. We are slowly but surely continuing with our war against Finland. We've only lost 460... Oh, it just shot up there. We've only lost 1,000. We've killed 30,000 Finnish boys. So we should be able to push for Helsinki now anyway. Once we capture that, that's going to absolutely rocket the Finnish morale. We do have air superiority by the looks of it over the top here now, and we still continue to have naval support. Helsinki still seems to be evading us for now, so let's make sure we push in from different positions and try and take the capital. Helsinki has fallen to the USSR. It's fallen to Stalin, the name of the boss. Alright, and we've got some research slots freed up as well. Yep, that's it. She's all over, Red Rover. The Finnish have capitulated here today. Look, we've got a couple of options here. First of all, I am using a player-led peace conference, which gives me all the political power, because I personally prefer to dish out the territory rather than let the AI sort it. So we've got a couple of options here. Historically, especially these border regions are contested between Russia and Finland, so I think like taking and annexing the entirety of Finland is quite cool. However, in Hearts of Iron 4, puppet states are quite useful. But you know what? I'm actually just going to take the entirety of Finland. I'm going to make sure I need to garrison these border territories here. Maybe puppeting someone like Finland or Romania might be a little bit different. But I think conquering and annexing Finland it'll be fun for the series. So let's straight up do that and bring in Finland to the Soviet Union. So we took 8 states, 1,648 equipment was seized, and now Finland has been brought in. War tension has gone up by 9%. By the 10th of April 1936, the Soviet Union has captured Finland. And let's now go to mechanical computing. Securing Swedish steel is the name of this chapter in our story. Here today, we're going to be declaring war upon Sweden. In the long term, securing Swedish steel will allow it to be taken away from the Allied forces, and we're going to be able to control it. As you can see, 75 yield in the north, 60, 41 further in the south. In the short term, if there is ever a Germanic Scandinavian blitzkrieg, we will be able to get that away from the fascist Axis powers, and long term we'll be able to get it away from Britain as well. So this war is going to be a little bit different to the one in Finland, as we did have closer supply routes and trains to Sweden. I can't be bothered navally invading. It could save a lot more Soviet lives, but I think we'll just push for the majority over the border here. So we're going to lose probably a couple thousand more, and it's going to be tough fighting up in the north. So let's have a look at Sweden on the 13th of May 1936. So they're currently 75% democratic. There is a small fascist boost growing in there at 14%, and due to our close proximity, we've got a 8% there, sort of an osmosis ideology drift with the occupation of Finland. Now, I plan to puppet Sweden straight up once I take them here today. Also, this army that I was preparing to go to Spain eventually, I've chucked 2 units of light tanks in just to add a little bit more spice to the civil war once it erupts. So hopefully that'll be good when that happens. Right, so let's straight up war deck the Swedes. Let's take Gotland. And once Sweden has been taken, we shall focus on other Baltic and sort of Central European powers. So the war deck has now been complete. Let's hit them as hard as we hit their Nordic brothers in Finland. Let's go, 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 go. So, I have also changed something slightly as well. We are now officially on an aggressive execute battle plan. Looking at the current war, so it's actually shot up to 14% world tension now. Mongolia, Timbuktu are going to come with us. So, the Swedes have slightly less units. I don't know statistically and historically weapon-wise in this time period who had the best sort of variants. Potentially the Finnish, seeing they're bordered with Russia. They're sort of more keen and they probably expected war probably more so than the Swedes. But I believe there's a pretty cool United Kingdom historical tree that you can war deck Sweden pretty early on if the Axis forces try to take their steel. Because it's not actually a bad approach. If you can take out Denmark quite convincingly and clinically, pushing into Scandinavia is not too bad of a tactic early on for the Germans. So we've got a proposal here from the Chinese Soviet Republic. We have recently received a proposal from Mao Zedong stating that we'd like to seek our permission to establish another government in northwest China and use our support to fight against the Japanese. Tell them to work with them instead. Let's see how well they can do. Get Soviet Union approval proposals. So where is Kuomintang? I think that's how you say it. I don't know. So where is that exactly? Right, because please do remember this is a blind Let's Play. I haven't actually played as the Soviet Union before, so I don't know exactly what's the best thing to do here. So we've got a couple of options here. So the Japanese, and then there's Kuomintang, which is this fellow who is a part of the non-aligned China. Okay, and then there's the small communist Mao Zedong China there, and then there's all these smaller broken up Chinese kingdoms. Tell them to work with him instead. I don't want to be dragged into a war. They use our support to fight against the Japanese and this Chinese guy. So tell them to work with him instead. Yeah, sure. Let's reject that because we don't want to be fighting. Fighting in China is an absolute nightmare, to say the least. We're fighting in Sweden here, where we have supply lines in relatively close proximity with the western sphere of Russia. So we've got that minor buff there. Oh, and we've got a couple of spare research slots as well. Land Doctrine going into Mass Assault. Let's go into that. And look, you know what? Settings, we're getting a lot of army experience earlier. We're going to be able to change our templates. So let's go with Field Hospital. Due to, we are using a lot of soft attack boys. We're using a lot of bodies for this. I'm also using a unit mod as well. So as you can see the Swedish flag, you can see the hammer and sickle on the Soviet troops as well. I believe every single faction has their own unique thing, so it's a pretty cool mod. The Trial of 21. So the Navy and Air Force have been getting far too easy, as we suspect they're enemies anyway. This has gone too far. Civil War, no. So as we suspected, there are enemies everywhere. So let's do that then. Okay, so we're slowly but surely continuing our initiative against the Swedes. We've lost 4,000 settings pretty early on in the war, roughly around about the same time. Against the Finnish, we only lost about 400. Due to the low logistics and supply lines, it's been a little bit tough here. We have air superiority over the top, and we've also got contested naval supremacy. Okay. And we do need to get railways built eventually as well. That's definitely something I want to look at. Okay, let's go down into... I haven't actually looked to go down dispense or industrial just yet. Okay, so for the Soviets... Look, it's debatable to go with dispersed or concentrated, but I personally believe the best industry to go down is... yeah, this one. I think we'll go with this one instead of dispersed, I think. Unfortunately, my diplomatic actions cannot be processed anymore, which is a shame, and that is a notification to tell me that we're not boosting in Turkey, France, nor Brazil anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, so how well are we pushing further south here? Can we somehow get a tank down there? Oh, and the Spanish Civil War has officially erupted, along with the Great Purge as well. Okay, let's sort out our national focus first. So after we've gone with the Purge, let's go with Stalin's constitution to get 300 political power. Looking at my army here now, I can't remember exactly how many we can send. I think I know what's happened here. I was like, hang on a minute. I can't send any volunteers. It's because the communist side, the PCE, has actually gone to the IR, democratic. They're technically democratic. So it's a fascist Francisco Franco, fascist, versus the Democrats. Wow, okay, so that is actually massive on the global stage. That is not between the communists and the fascists, it's between the fascists and the democratic nations. Wow, okay, that massively changes things up. We'll try and push into territory where we can. The Ethiopian-Indian War, the Ethiopian-Italian War has now concluded, and we are still trying to push. Oh, it slowed things down because we've lost that general there. Because he was, well, purged. Alright, let's try and get you down at least one unit and maybe get a tank unit here. Just to Blitzkrieg to Stockholm. If we can get it as quickly as possible, that'll be good. The US Congress passes the Neutrality Act. They support the fascists then. Okay, so it looks like the United States potentially could be a neutral power this time around. But, yeah, we can't send volunteers. Yeah, we can't send volunteers. Wow, that's... Oh, my God, that's massively thrown a spanner into the works, which is a shame. Because I had 15 divisions keen and ready to go. But that's probably the non-historical AI focuses working at work, so... Oh, that's a bit of a shame. So, just because of the RNG, we weren't able to act and help out. Yeah, but there's a lot of... Yeah, maybe it might bring the democratic nations closer in. We'll see. Alrighty then. Well, there's no point of keeping 15 divisions back in Moscow with their tails between their legs. So, we might as well try and push you to the border here. Once you get there, go as quickly as possible. So, this war... Oh... Japanese provocation at our border. It's unacceptable. So, let's hope it doesn't blow out into a full war just yet. So, we are slowly but surely... What's this? Ask... A Republican Spain wants to move troops through our territory. No, thank you. Who even is this, by the way? Manuel Azana. Okay. Oh, well, that's a bit of a shame. Because I think, realistically, we probably, to be honest, could have taken Spain. And getting that as a communist power early on is useful. Oh, the Empire of Brazil has declared war upon Uruguay. And what are they going to? Ah, oh, damn it! We weren't quick enough. Ah, it's because we lost that boost. 28% and they flipped. So Brazil is at war with Uruguay. And they're not aligned. Oh, damn it. So the Brazilians are on their side. Okay. So Stockholm has been taken. And now we've got that boost here. Surely Sweden must be capitulating soon. 47k we've gotten rid of. And they've taken out 13k of ours. In the grand scheme of things, we've got 1.3 million in the bank. We're fine. Come on, Sweden. We just need to take Malmo. And we'll be able to puppet the Swedes, I reckon. There's only a couple more territory. Gothenburg. From my personal experience, the girls are way hotter in Gothenburg than Stockholm. To be honest. Border conflicts. Oh, this is what's going on here. Anyway, we've taken Sweden. That was my time there. My experience in Sweden. Right, so what we want to do is use the player-led peace conference. speed through, and we want to give all the war score to me so I can decide what happens to Sweden. Couple of options. We could take the territory, to be honest, but like annex it like you did with Finland. But I personally think getting the trade tariffs and controlling what happens with that steel will be better for us, and allowing Sweden to sort of build up their own navy. We'll secure the ports and help them, but letting Sweden be semi-autonomous under a dictatorship regime. So we'll puppet Sweden straight up and bring them into the Soviet fold. Japanese defeat. Our borders have acquitted themselves. So, is that fighting still going on? We still seem to be holding there. And, looks like the Japanese flag has actually changed. Yeah, alright. But let's have a look at Sweden. So, they are now the, I don't know, Volkhemmet? The SKP coalition under Sven Glinderot. They've now joined the Comintern there. Perfect. Well, it is the 9th of September, 1939. So, unfortunately, guys, on that note, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. So, we're going to rally, rendezvous with our remaining forces. I don't particularly want to hit Norway nor Denmark just yet. We'll move back to the border here now. We might look at maybe hitting Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, potentially even Romania. We'll just have to see. We'll continue with Stalin's leadership purge and stuff. We'll try and have a look at what we can go down in the tech tree as well. But already, Germany, what are they doing? Beginning the depression recovery. What are these guys? What is this plan that they're doing? Okay, so they're just going for an army defense plan. The French and the British are going with air defense. What about the States? They're defending as well. So the only sort of change, really, is that the Brazilians have turned fascist. That's probably one of the major things. France, everything else is really still in play. So I don't know how this is going to shape things up. So we've taken out Finland. We've brought Sweden into the Comintern. Unfortunately, the Spanish Civil War we couldn't influence because a communist leader never rose in this alternative history. We'll look to sort of intervene into the Baltic and to the Balkans in the next episode. So support this series if you want to see more episodes, if you want me to do more Hearts of Iron 4. I'd like to do a German campaign, but if no one wants to watch it, we'll move on to a different strategy game instead. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section down below your feedback for the series, and if you would like to see more, that's the best way to ensure more content. Leave a dislike if you're not enjoying the series. Check out my social media links if you want to stay connected with me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all in the description below. Highly recommend Twitter. Every single time I post a video, a tweet goes out. It's much more reliable than the YouTube sub box. These days, to get all the notifications for the channel, you have to click the bell, of course, to join the notifications squad. I do enjoy reading those comments. Patreon and merchandise link in the description below, along with the Steam group. Come and join the community on Steam. And on that note, unfortunately, I have to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching once again. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Go out and have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Goodbye.